Millions died. Nations collapsed. Cities burned. But how did the deadliest war in human history actually end? This is the untold story of the final days of World War II. After 6 long years of unimaginable destruction, the war in Europe was finally reaching its dramatic, bloody chapter. Germany, once a seemingly unstoppable force, was now surrounded from all sides. The Allied forces, a powerful coalition of nations, were relentlessly pushing in from the west and from the east. The Soviet Red Army was a juggernaut, destroying everything in its path as it advanced towards the heart of the Reich. By April 1945, the situation was dire for the Nazi regime. Adolf Hitler, the man who had plunged the world into chaos, found himself trapped, a prisoner in his own underground bunker, deep beneath the streets of Berlin. Above him, the city was being torn apart. His vast empire, built on conquest and cruelty, was crumbling to dust. His most trusted generals had lost all hope, recognizing the futility of their fight. Critical supplies like food, fuel, and ammunition were completely gone, and the once mighty German army was collapsing, with soldiers surrendering in droves or deserting their posts. Then, on April 30th, 1945, with the sound of Soviet artillery shaking the very ground beneath him, Hitler ended his own life. The architect of so much suffering was gone. Just 1 week later, on May 7th, what was left of the German High Command officially surrendered to the Allied forces. This historic day became known across the Western world as VE Day Victory in Europe. Celebrations erupted in the streets of London, Paris, and New York. For millions, the nightmare was over. But the war was not over yet. Half a world away, another fierce conflict was still raging. Even after Germany's total surrender, its ally, Japan, refused to give up. The Japanese military, driven by a fierce code of honor and loyalty to their emperor, was prepared to fight to the very last breath. Their soldiers, from seasoned veterans to young recruits, were digging in, preparing for a final, desperate defense of their homeland. America and its allies wanted a quick end to the bloodshed. They had already endured years of brutal island-hopping campaigns across the Pacific. But every plea for surrender was met with a defiant response from Japan. "We will never surrender." Faced with this unwavering resistance, the United States began preparing for a massive full-scale invasion of the Japanese mainland, codenamed Operation Downfall. Military planners estimated this invasion could cost more than 1 million American lives and result in even more staggering Japanese casualties, both military and civilian. The prospect was horrifying, and so, the United States made a shocking, world-changing decision, one that would usher in a new age of fear and power. On August 6, 1945, at 8:15 in the morning, a single American B-29 bomber flew over the clear skies of Hiroshima. It released a single bomb, nicknamed Little Boy. It wasn't an ordinary bomb. In the seconds it took to fall, it detonated with the force of 15,000 tons of tear. A blinding flash of light, a wave of heat hotter than the sun's surface, and a deafening roar engulfed the city. In an instant, Hiroshima was on fire, reduced to a smoldering ruin. The world held its breath. Yet Japan remained silent. So 3 days later, on August 9th, a second bomb, this one named Fat Man, was dropped on the city of Nagasaki, unleashing even greater destructive power. Japan had no defense against this new weapon, no answer, no hope left. For the first time in history, nuclear weapons had been used in warfare. The atomic age had begun, and the world would never be the same again. After witnessing this unimaginable destruction, the Japanese Emperor Hirohito finally intervened. In an unprecedented radio address, he spoke directly to his people. His voice, which most had never heard before, carried a simple, solemn message. We must accept the unacceptable. We must end this war. On August 15, 1945, Japan announced its unconditional surrender. Then, on September 2nd, the official documents were formally signed aboard the battleship USS Missouri in Tokyo Bay. Generals and diplomats from around the world watched as the final page was turned on the most devastating conflict in human history. This day became known as VJ Day Victory over Japan. The war was finally over. World War II ended, But it left behind a world scarred and forever changed. It left behind broken nations, millions of deaths, and a deep-seated fear of nuclear weapons that haunts us to this day. The war was over, but the scars, the stories, and the lessons, they remain with us forever. This was how World War II truly ended. Thanks for watching. If you found this story compelling, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into history. We'll see you in the next one.